Good morning, children. Today we are going to start chapter 10 of our textbook, Organs of Government. This is a very important chapter for you, not only for study but also for your future. You will come to know how our country and the organs of the government of our country is working. So let's start the chapter. Please open your textbook. This chapter is already a revision and we are adding some more points to your knowledge. Last year in 8th standard we have studied this chapter's basic things. What are the organs of government? As you know, we have studied legislature, executive and judiciary are the organs of our government. We have studied, I hope you remember this triangle where judiciary at the top, executive and legislature with equal status. Let's start the lesson. Page number 73, first paragraph. There are three organs of the government: the legislature, the executive and the judiciary. We shall study in detail the formation of all these three organs of the government, their powers, their functions and their interpersonal relations. This we have already studied in 8th standard, so I am moving little bit fast. One of the main objectives of the nation is to maintain law and order and thereby achieve the welfare of the nation, and at the same time to nurture and to protect the freedom and fundamental rights of the citizens. As we have discussed, the three main organs of our government is legislature, executive and judiciary. Legislature is a branch of organ of the government which creates and passes all the laws in the country. After laws are passed, there must be some arrangement to ensure that they are obeyed. How laws are passed, that we have studied it last year. This year again we will study in detail. Now, second organ of government is executive. The organ of the government which does the function of execution and administration of laws is called executive. After framing and executing the laws, there are chances that these laws may not be obeyed. And the third one is judiciary. The third organ of government called the judiciary does the functions of taking action against people who disobey or breaks the law is called a judiciary. Although these are three different organs of the government, they are always interrelated. The main objective of the nation is to maintain law and order and thereby achieve the welfare of the nation. However, while doing this, the freedom and fundamental rights of the citizen should also be maintained. The government can progress and work effectively only if there is coordination and cooperation among these three organs. For the progressive development of the state, it is necessary that all the three organs of the government, that is the legislature, the executive and the judiciary, work in mutual unity, cooperation and coordination so that the government can run its administration effectively and efficiently. हमारा गवर्नमेंट का फंक्शन स्मूथ जाना है तो क्या होना चाहिए? तीनों ऑर्गन्स का एक यूनिटी में, एक कॉपरेशन में, कोऑर्डिनेशन में काम करना पड़ेगा. अदरवाइज द वर्क विल बी वेरी डिफ़िकल्ट. द लेजिस्लेचर frames the laws, please underline. The executive implements the framed laws and the judiciary maintains law and order by punishing the people who violate the law. What are the main duty और उनका ड्यूटी क्या है? लेजिस्लेचर का ड्यूटी क्या है? फ्रेम्स द लॉ. दे विल मेक द लॉस. What is the duty of executive? The executive will implement the framed laws. जो बना के रखा है वो law कौन implement करेगा? Executive. And the judiciary maintains law and order by punishing the people who violate the law. Now, the next paragraph. The legislature, as per the Constitution of India, consists of a parliament at the center and legislative assemblies at the state level. That I have drawn like this way. Legislature मतलब उसमें कौन कौन है? सेंटर लेवल पे पार्लियामेंट और स्टेट लेवल पे लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबलीज. What about the executive? The executive, as per the Constitution of India, consists of, look, at the center level we are having the President, the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. And at state level, President के जगह पे state में Governor, Prime Minister के जगह पे state में Chief Minister, Cabinet Ministers के जगह पे state में Cabinet Ministers and administrative system. Understood that section? Now come to the textbook. The executive, as per the Constitution of India, consists of the President, the Prime Minister and Cabinet Ministers and their administrative system at the center, and Governor, Chief Minister and his Cabinet and administrative system at the state level. Clear? Now coming to judiciary. In judiciary, the Supreme Court is at the top. In the middle, high courts of the states, and at the bottom there are subordinate courts, district courts and special courts. This we have studied last year, I hope you remember. So at the top we are having Supreme Court. Where is Supreme Court located? Delhi. We are having one Supreme Court. The highest law-making organization of our country is Supreme Court. Under Supreme Court, the high courts of the states. Almost all the states are having their own high courts, but some states are sharing their high court with some other states. For example, we are having the high court of Punjab and Haryana share a common court at Chandigarh. And for the northeast states have a one common high court at Guwahati. So this we have studied. So now at the bottom there are subordinate courts, district courts and special courts, small courts. Thus the judiciary is a separate, independent and organized whole, which is completely apart from legislature and executive. That is the main point which I wanted to tell you. Now, India is a union of states. No state is completely independent and sovereign. The Indian parliamentary system has divided the powers according to the principle of division of powers between the center and the state, such that the legislature and the executive is totally interdependent on each other. Look to the triangle. Judiciary at the top and executive and legislature, they are totally interdependent on each other. They are depending on each other. They want the support. Judiciary के अलावा, judiciary is the separate, independent and impartial organ. But executive and legislature, they are totally interdependent on each other. They want the support. Executive require the support of legislature and legislature require the support of executive. But judiciary is separate, independent and impartial organ. Understood this section clearly? Now, moving to the next heading, the principle of division of power. On what basis these three, that is executive, judiciary and legislature, their power is divided. The government carries out various functions of the states and these are different from one another. The functions of all the three organs of the government are different and all the functions require a certain expertise. All the three organs of the government should be administered by different people and each organ should carry out its own functions. By division of powers, misuse can be avoided. Please underline this line. By division of powers, misuse can be avoided. It is necessary to divide the powers between the three organs of the government in order to make the function of the government easy and efficient. Now listen, the government has divided various duties to various people. For example, in your class, we are having class representatives, CRs. At the same time, we are having house captains, sports captain, house captain. They all are having different duties. Even though you are the blue house captain, he is not having any role in the class when a teacher is coming late. That time, who will be looking after the class instead of till the teacher comes? The class representatives. So, each one is having his own duty. But when you are going out of the class for your sports activities or a sports competition, kabaddi competition, you will be sitting according to your house. That time, the discipline of that group will be looked after by the concerned house captains. That time the class representative is having no role. Okay, so here same way our organs of the government, their duties are completely specifically divided into each other. The place where law and order should implement the place where law and order and punishing of the people is required, there executive ka kaam kuch nahi hai. That time judiciary is looking after the matter. When a place where laws are implemented, where laws are to form or implement, that time judiciary will be keeping quiet, legislature will be keeping quiet, executive will be keeping quiet. That time who will be looking after the matter? The legislature. They are framing the laws. Understood? So, same way in our country, the powers are divided between three organs of the government in order to make the function of the government easy and efficient. I hope it is clear for you. For example, the legislature has the power to formulate laws, but some powers are so given to the executive and the judiciary that the legislature cannot misuse its powers. Similarly, the executive is controlled by giving power to the legislature and the judiciary is controlled by giving powers to the legislature and executive. Now we will discuss about the legislature. India is a republic having a parliamentary democracy. The representation of the people at the center is seen at the parliament and of the state is seen in the legislative assembly. Central government द रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स, हम लोग इलेक्शन में वोट दे के हमारा लीडर्स को सिलेक्ट करते हैं, और ये लीडर्स फॉर सेंटर में जो जाता है उनको वेयर दिस पीपल दे विल बी सिटिंग और दे विल बी असेंबलिंग इन द पार्लियामेंट एंड दे आर कॉल्ड द मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट, MP. Who is the MP of our of Vadodara? Mrs. Ranjan Ben. So, at the same time, and of the state is seen in the legislative assembly, and in the state in the legislative assembly. So, the representation of the people at the center is seen at the parliament, and of the state is seen in the legislative assembly. At the parliament, we are having under the leadership of our prime minister, and all these people under his leadership, they will be the MPs, member of parliament, and in state it is seen in the legislative assembly. Gujarat Legislative Assembly or Gujarat Vidhan Sabha, we are having at present we are having 182 members of the Legislative Assembly. These 182 members, we call them MLAs, Member of Legislative Assembly, and they are we are having 13 constituencies and reserved for scheduled caste and 27 constituencies for scheduled tribe. Under the leadership of Vijay Rupani, our chief minister, and remaining many other ministers we are having. So they are that is the legislative assembly of Gujarat. Same way हर एक state को उनका legislative assembly होता है. The parliament is an important and apex organization of the nation. Parliament is the topmost organization, apex, topmost organization of our country. The Indian parliament consists of the president, the vice president, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. The Indian parliament consists of the president. So, our parliament house means they are combination of our president. Who is our president? Mr. Ramnath Kovind. Now, who is the vice president? Venkaiah Naidu. Then our Rajya Sabha and our Lok Sabha. The Rajya Sabha or the Council of State is the upper house of our parliament. It currently has a maximum membership of 245 members, of which 233 are elected by the legislatures of the state and union territories. Okay, now about the Lok Sabha. It is also known as the House of the People. It is the lower house of India's parliament. Maximum strength of the house is allotted by the Constitution of India is 552. Currently, we are having 543 seats in the previous election. Here you could see the beautiful picture of our Indian Parliament. Coming to the legislature of our country. The legislature is of two types, that is unicameral and bicameral. What do you mean by unicameral? Uni means one. When the legislature is consisting of one house, it is called unicameral legislature. Indian legislature at state level is mostly unicameral because most of the states have only one legislative house called the Vidhan Sabha or the Legislative Assembly. Now, second one is bicameral legislature. Bi means two. When the legislature is consisting of two houses, it is called a bicameral legislature. In India, we have two houses at the central level, that is lower house called the Lok Sabha and upper house called the Rajya Sabha. Hence, India has bicameral legislature at union level. State level we are having unicameral and union level we are having bicameral. Similarly, at state level, the legislature councils of the legislative assembly and the legislative council. ये हर स्टेट में नहीं होता है. Some states are having. Most of the states like have only one legislative assembly, but states like Bihar, UP, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Telangana have legislative councils also. There they are following bicameral legislature, but Gujarat is following unicameral legislature. But our neighboring state Maharashtra, they are having bicameral legislature. That is, they are following state level, they are having bicameral, that is Vidhan Sabha, Vidhan Parishad and Vidhan Sabha. Okay. In the next chart you could see bicameralism. What do you mean by bicameral? But it's central level पे एक और स्टेट लेवल पे. सेंट्रल लेवल में जो है उसको हम राज्यसभा और लोकसभा, that is common. Our country we are following bicameralism in central level. But coming to state like Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, they all are having, SI both are states, they are having following unicameralism. स्टेट लेवल में हमारे पास लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली है. बट सम स्टेट्स लाइक महाराष्ट्र, यूपी, बिहार, कर्नाटका, तेलंगाना, they are having two councils. State level they are having two councils, that is called bicameralism, that is Vidhan Parishad and Vidhan Sabha. Clear? Done. Here you could see our beautiful Lok Sabha building, and in the next clip you could see the list of the members of the 17th Lok Sabha. So there is total 545 members we are having, maximum with the orange color, that is representing BJP, and remaining other colors, green Muslim League, that is the different colors they are having, the color of their party. In the present we are having total 543 members, out of which 303 supporting BJP, then JDU, dark blue you will be able to see, that is JD, and then the light blue you could see LJP, then different colors you could see. Now the opposition party, that is around UPA, they are that is 205 seats they are having. Opposition party they are having 205, that is light blue you could see Indian National Congress, red color DMK, Dravida Munneta Kazhangam, etc. So this you could see the different colors. Okay. Now come to page number 74. First heading, legislature at the central level, that is parliament, Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha is the lower house of the parliament. It is also called the house of the people. The members of the Lok Sabha are the representatives of the people who are elected through direct election. There are in all 545 members of the Lok Sabha. Out of the 545 members of the Lok Sabha, 2 members are selected by the president from the Anglo-Indian community. Do you know what is the reason why this Anglo-Indian representatives, to every Lok Sabha they are having 2 members are selected by the president to the Lok Sabha? What is the reason behind that? The reason is this right was secured from Jawaharlal Nehru by Frank Anthony. He was the first and the long-time president of All India Anglo-Indian Association. This community was represented by 2 members. This was done because of the community had no native state of its own. Okay. Do you know who is the Anglo-Indian community? Have you heard about this? An Anglo-Indian is a person whose father or any of whose other male person is belongs to the European descendant, but who is domiciled within the territory of India and is so was born within such territory of parents habitually. That is why European ancestors and living in India, they are called Anglo-Indian. Anglicans means Europeans. Continues. President is a part of the parliament. That is, president is always the part of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. The president addressed the first meeting of the parliament and the joint session of the parliament. Besides these two occasions, the president never attended the parliament. So, the Indian president addresses the first meeting of the parliament and the joint session of the parliament. Besides these two occasions, इसके अलावा president, Indian president never attend the parliament meeting. The president can summon both the houses of the parliament, can withhold the proceedings of both the houses of the parliament, and can even dissolve the parliament. What do you mean by the summoning of the parliament? Summoning means it is the process of calling all the members of the parliament for a meeting. The president summons each house of the parliament for time to time. The gap between two sessions of the parliament cannot exceed 6 months, which we have studied last year. I hope you remember. So, what is the meaning of summoning? The process of calling all the members of the parliament for a meeting. That is called a summoning the parliament. Withhold means hold back or restrain or check, to refrain from giving or granting to. At the same time, president is having the right to dissolve the parliament. Now, second point also we have discussed last year. A bill which has passed through 3 readings in both the houses of parliament can become an act only after the president signs it. हमने देखा था 2/3 मेजॉरिटी चाहिए दोनों हाउस में, अपर हाउस और लोअर हाउस में पास होना है 2/3 मेजॉरिटी में. उसके बाद वो आएगा प्रेसिडेंट के हाथ में. तब when the moment the president sign that bill, then only it will become an act, and only when that process happens only with the help of the president. Lok Sabha is not a permanent house. The time period of Lok Sabha is 5 years. If it is not dissolved before the completion of the term, otherwise the time period is 5 years. Here you could see President Ramnath Kovind presiding the joint session of the parliament. Next paragraph. Constitution of India is supreme and not the parliament. Who is the highest one? Constitution or parliament? Which one is the biggest one as per our country? Constitution of India is supreme, not the parliament. Hence, the parliament has to enjoy its power within the limits prescribed by the constitution. If the laws framed by the parliament violates the constitution, they can be challenged in the court. If the court finds the framed laws against the provisions of the constitution, the court can nullify the law. Nullify means cancel. So, if the court finds that the rules which are framed by the constitution, then provision of the constitution, if it is not proper, then they are having, the court are having the right to cancel that law. Parliament in India is not supreme, but the constitution of our country is supreme. Give reason. Support the statement with give reason. So with this we come to the end of today's discussion. I hope you understood the topic. Please go through this topic thoroughly. You will be getting enough questions. Frame the question, give reason, that type of question, then unicameral, bicameral, terms, explain the terms. This type of questions you will get from this section. Moving to the worksheet of today's lecture. First question we are having from page number 82 of your textbook. Answer the following question. Question number 1 we are discussing today. What is the principle of division of power? That answer I have given here. It is there in 3 clips. Please write it. Now, remaining question we will discuss in the next lecture. Page number 83. Explain giving reason the following statements. Give reason. Question number 1. Indian Parliament is bicameral. That we have discussed. Even though we have discussed, I have written the answer there. You can write it, copy it into your notebook. Question number 2 we will discuss in the next lecture. Question number 3. Indian Parliament is not supreme, but the Constitution is supreme. For that, please come to page number 74 of your textbook. Under the heading, first heading, that is legislature at the central level, Parliament, Lok Sabha, their third paragraph, Constitution of India is supreme and not the Parliament. Have you seen? That full paragraph you should write. That is 4 lines you are supposed to write as the answer for question number 3 of section 2. Now question number 4. Independent and impartial judiciary is the foundation of democracy. That answer also I have given here in the clip. Copy that into your notebook. Remaining questions we will write after discussing the topic. So, complete the notebook. Before starting your notebook, first we will be writing the main points of the points which we have discussed. That is page number 73 complete and 74. 3 paragraphs. The main points you should write. Leave some place for writing the remaining main points and you can start writing the question answers. Okay, hope you understood today's session. Read the section thoroughly because questions, you don't expect all the questions from back of the textbook. It can come from the chapter itself. So read the textbook thoroughly. We will see you in the next class with the next topic. Till then, stay safe. Thank you. Bye.